To Georgia now, where protesters have gathered for a second day in the capital, Tbilisi. They oppose the government's decision to suspend talks on joining the European Union. More than 100 Georgian diplomats have signed an open letter criticizing the decision, saying it's unconstitutional.
A tense standoff in Tbilisi between riot police and the pro-European protesters. Dozens of demonstrators were arrested and many others injured as they assembled outside Georgia's parliament building and the governing party's headquarters, voicing their anger.
They're going against Georgian people's will and they want to drag us back to USSR, but that will never happen because Georgian people will never let this happen.
They are referring to an announcement by Georgia's Prime Minister to suspend the bid to join the EU until 2028. He accused Brussels of disrespecting Georgian values.
It is categorically unacceptable for us to view EU integration as an act of charity that the European Union must grant to us. They are asking from Georgia not reforms, but steps that would mean a rejection of our dignity.
Georgia has seen several anti-government protests this year, but they grew following a contested election in October. The opposition claims the Kremlin interfered in the campaign in favor of the governing Georgian Dream party. They say the ruling party has been moving Georgia in an authoritarian and pro-Moscow direction for months, and that came to a head on Thursday.
Georgian Dream committed a constitutional coup. Today they have fulfilled the task given by Vladimir Putin, and even were praised for that. Today, Georgian Dream has blocked the development and Euro-Atlantic perspective for Georgia.
Opinion polls indicate the vast majority of Georgians still wants to join the EU, and Georgia Dream says it intends to do that one day. But for the moment, the divide between the government and Georgians' Western aspirations looks set to grow wider.
And I hope we can now speak to Mariam Geguchadze. She's a pro-EU activist and joins us from Tbilisi. Now, there I can see you, Mariam. Welcome to DW. You were at the rally last night and you're out again tonight. What is driving you to protest?
I think seeing that our dignity, our future and our fundamental rights are basically stolen from us in front of our eyes made us super mad. And also it is very important to say that Georgian constitution mandates that Georgia's future lies within Europe. And I think that this issue and Russian influence is a huge trigger for Georgians. Basically, we've seen the war, there's not a generation in Georgia who hasn't seen a war and Russian aggression, not to talk about the history, but even today. So I think what we saw yesterday, Georgian Dream's officials who just came out and say that we don't care about your constitution, we don't care about the fact that 86% of Georgians want European integration, we're just doing that. I think it made everyone super, super upset.
You yourself, I understand, were tear gassed last night. How did you experience the crackdown by authorities?
It was super, they're basically using violence to silence the dissent and to crack down the opposition. But it was very important and very interesting to say that I wasn't even standing on the front lines. I was in the back, and this tear gas, I had a huge allergic reaction. But most importantly, they were directly beating up journalists. One of them, I think, when I saw the video, I was amazed how he even survived, because whenever they saw people with a camera, with microphones, they were directly targeting them. There are more than 43 people arrested right now, and half of them are in the hospital, and that's not all the information that there is, because unfortunately we don't even have the exact information.
Do these intimidation tactics work, or will you continue protesting?
I think that it worked in a way, but I think one of the biggest messages that I would like to spread via your media is that I understand the words of concern from the international community, but I believe that it's not enough right now. I believe that the clear message that international community will not tolerate those who betray Georgian people's aspirations should be said more vocally, and it includes sanctioning those individuals who are betraying Georgian people, who are trying to slide and change Georgia's future and slide it towards Russia. I think that economic sanctions, sanctioning them, their European travels, their travels to Western countries, it should be done immediately. Those people who are responsible for it, they should be somehow held accountable for it. And I think that the involvement in international community
there have been calls
right
for
now,
sanctions on the EU level as well. Sorry to jump in there. I do want to know from you, because you're in it. Why do you think the government is going against the will of the majority? You mentioned it there. Over 80% of Georgians, according to polls, do want to join the EU.
Unfortunately, right now we just have a Russian-made billionaire, Bidzina Ivanishvili, who's been in Georgia in power for more than 12 years. He stole our election. He's a Russian-made billionaire, and we know how they work, and we know that they never go out from Russian influence. So that has been his plan since the first day, but everything changed with the war in Ukraine because he somehow became more directly pro-Russian. So I think it's just a follow-up of his politics, and Bidzina Ivanishvili has been a threat for Georgia since day one, and he has vocally said, and like his politicians have said, that you know what, Russia is not so bad. And whenever they're anti-Ukrainian rhetorics, there are so many details that clearly indicates their anti-Georgian and anti-European aspirations. So basically, Bidzina Ivanishvili treats Georgia like his private business. That's the issue. And what I have been advocating for a while is that he should be held accountable for it. It is super important because we are here protesting, and we will continue doing that because we're protecting our future, we're protecting ourselves. And of course, I don't have any other country. It's my country. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to fight till the end. I don't care if they're going to beat me up or arrest me. But then there's it's a two-way relationship between Georgian people and European Union. So
we'll
I think
have
we
to leave it there. Mariam, we're unfortunately running out of time. That was pro-EU activist Mariam Geguchadze. Thank you so much for your time, and take good care out there.
Thank you so much.